We woke up to a strange sound coming from the kitchen before sunrise. It was the kind of sound that makes every parent sit up instantly. A bang, then a scrape, then a tiny whisper followed by sudden laughter. We thought someone had broken in. We were wrong. Much worse had happened. Our two toddlers had escaped their room, entered the kitchen, and decided to cook breakfast by themselves. When we quietly peeked around the corner, we saw two of the smallest criminals in history standing in the middle of total chaos. One was wearing a mixing bowl like a hat. The other held a wooden spoon like a sword. Flour covered the floor, the chairs, and somehow the dog. They turned, saw us watching, and immediately shouted "surprise," as if this disaster had been planned perfectly from the beginning. Apparently, they wanted to do something nice because we looked tired the night before. In their minds, there was only one logical solution: let the babies run the kitchen. Their mission had started with stealth. They had dragged chairs across the floor to build a staircase to the counter. They had opened the pantry using teamwork, determination, and zero permission. Then they selected ingredients the same way pirates choose treasure. If it looked interesting, it was coming with them. On the counter sat the official breakfast supplies: a bag of flour, 6 cracked eggs, syrup with the lid missing, half a banana, sprinkles, ketchup, a juice box with bite marks in the straw, and 1 onion for no clear reason. We still do not know where the onion came from. The older toddler was clearly the head chef. He pointed at everything like he was running a 5-star restaurant during a crisis. The younger one was the assistant chef, taste tester, and occasional liability. Every 10 seconds he licked something that should never be licked, then he gave a thumbs up. Their first challenge had been opening the flour bag. Judging by the scene, that battle did not go well. White powder covered every surface. Tiny footprints crossed the room like evidence at a crime scene. One handprint was stamped on the refrigerator at shoulder height, which raised questions nobody wanted answered. Next came the eggs. They had not cracked them so much as attacked them emotionally. Shells were in the bowl, on the table, and somehow inside one shoe. The batter looked confused. It was thick in some places, watery in others, and contained at least one toy dinosaur. Then we learned they had already attempted to cook. A frying pan sat on the stove with something black inside that may once have been pancake batter. The chef proudly told us it was toast. We did not correct him. Some truths help no one.
But they were not finished, not even close. They announced that the final plate was coming soon and ordered us back to the bedroom. We made the wise decision to cooperate. Sometimes survival means respecting leadership. From the bedroom, we heard frantic whispering, cabinet doors opening, metal clanging, and one dramatic yell of "No, no, 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 no!" followed by silence. Then cheering. Somehow, they believed things were improving. A few moments later, the bedroom door slowly opened. Both toddlers entered carrying a tray together with the seriousness of professional waiters. Their faces were covered in flour. Their pajamas were sticky. Their hair looked electrically charged. But their smiles were pure confidence. They approached the bed and carefully placed the tray in front of us like royalty presenting treasure. On the tray sat the breakfast: 2 burnt pancake circles shaped like countries that did not exist, banana slices stacked into a tower, a puddle of syrup spreading toward the blankets, 1 fork, no knives, and in the center of it all, a single onion ring. We had more questions than appetite. They stood there waiting for our reaction. This was the moment. We could laugh, cry, or call for help. Instead, we did what every parent does when love arrives in a terrible form. We thanked them like they had delivered the greatest meal on earth. We clapped, we praised the presentation, we called it gourmet. Then we each took a bite. The pancake fought back immediately. It was crunchy on one side, raw on the other, and somehow cold in the middle. Science may never explain it. The syrup had mixed with something salty. The banana tasted like onion. Yet our toddlers watched us with shining eyes, so we smiled and kept chewing like brave soldiers. The younger one leaned forward and asked if it was yummy. We said yes with the strength of people committed to a lie. He celebrated by grabbing a pancake with both hands and taking a bite himself. His face changed instantly. He looked offended, confused, and personally betrayed by his own recipe.
Then he quietly put it back on the tray. The older toddler remained professional. He explained that the next batch would be better. He then invited us to see the kitchen. That was a mistake. We walked in and froze. It looked like a cooking show had been filmed during an earthquake. Flour covered the counters like fresh snow. Syrup dripped from cabinet handles. Every spoon in the house was dirty. A chair was upside down near the sink. The dog sat in the corner looking emotionally exhausted. There was batter on the wall at a height no toddler should be able to reach. Again, questions remained unanswered. And yet, standing in the center of that glorious mess were two tiny humans smiling with pride because they had tried to help. They had seen tired parents and decided to fix it the only way they knew how. They did not make breakfast. They made effort. They made laughter. They made a memory no clean kitchen could ever compete with. So we spent the next hour cleaning while they supervised like managers who had never touched a broom. They gave instructions, pointed at spots we missed, and occasionally stole banana slices from the evidence tray. Every few minutes they reminded us that they were great chefs. Confidence like that cannot be taught. Later that day, when the house was finally clean and the disaster was over, we asked why they wanted to cook for us. The older one shrugged and said, "Because you were sleepy." That was it. No speech, no grand reason, just because you were sleepy. That is how parenthood works sometimes. One moment you think your life is falling apart because there is pancake batter on the ceiling. The next moment your heart melts because the people who caused it were trying to love you. And yes, for anyone wondering, they have been permanently banned from unsupervised breakfast. But every time we hear a strange noise in the morning now, we still run to the kitchen, smiling.